on Vikings, and I respect Elliot Wolf just directly talking to Kwesi in a presser.
Do that enough. We'll get along.
Locked On Sports Minnesota Podcast. It's endless Minnesota Vikings talk with the diverse voices of your local experts. It's time for the Minnesota Football Party.
And welcome back to the party. Sam Ekstrom, he's out. You got the three-man crew today. Plus, we got Ron Johnson stopping by here in a few minutes as well. Fellas, we're almost there. 7 days until the Vikings draft their new franchise quarterback. So coming up on today's episode, we're going to give you one bold prediction we all think that's going to transpire next Thursday night. Plus, we're going to do a little deep dive into these quarterbacks with some quarterback superlatives and which rookie has the best chance to start week one over Sam Darnold. Plus, we're going back to the PFF mock draft simulator, see if we can do better than we did last time with our mock draft 2.0. And of course, if we have some time at the end, guys, I'd love to take some fan questions. So hit us up in the stream with your Vikings, with your draft thoughts in the chat throughout the next 45, 50 minutes or so. But first,
have we tweeted out the link? Do people know that we're live?
Dude, you're supposed to do that. Come on.
I'm working on
talked
it.
About
right,
this.
Yeah, I just
we
did.
talked about this.
Come on, Luke.
Right?
Come on, Luke.
I'm hosting, man. Come on.
One of the Lukes.
Okay.
I just did. There you go.
Oh, there it is. All right, beautiful. Now we'll get some people in the stream here. What do we got? About 20-ish people in the stream. Let's see if we can hit triple digits today in the stream. That's the goal. All right.
We got some hand hearts going. All right.
All right. Here we go already. All right. Before we jump into all the action, quick reminder, today's episode, it's brought to us by FanDuel. FanDuel, America's number one sportsbook. Make every moment more. Right now, new customers, check this out. You're getting $150 in bonus bets with any $5 wager. Win or lose, $150 guaranteed. Just visit FanDuel.com/lockedon today to get started. I wanted to start. There's a lot to rip through, first of all. So we got to be quick. We got to be serious. It's not like, when Sam's hosting, we just sit around and make jokes and have fun, all that. We got to get real here, guys. Okay. We're a week away from the draft. So I need your A game today. I want to do a deep dive on these top quarterbacks the Vikings are looking at. I wanted to start, though, with this really cool, awesome piece our guy Benjamin Solak put up on the Ringers draft guide yesterday. By the way, I don't know if you guys know Benjamin Solak. He does a ton of great work on the entire class every year. There's so much cool stuff in here. He clearly spent weeks and weeks just charting around the clock nonstop on this. And by the way, too, I can do my best to describe some of this stuff, but the visuals with all the charts on here, it makes it a lot easier to digest and kind of comprehend. So again, highly recommend going to check this out. But anyways, he posted it, got tons of great engagement. And then I saw Sigmund Bloom ask him what number or stat or analytics surprised him the most. So out of all the work he did, hours and hours that he spent, out of all the stats and analytics he came up with, what was the one thing that stuck out the most? And he said Jaden Daniels' pressure response numbers kind of blew him away. Specifically, when he was pressured, the lack of times he stayed in the pocket and delivered an accurate pass was pretty shocking, I guess, according to, again, Benjamin Solak, because Daniels' stand and deliver pressure percentage, it was only 36.7%. So when he got pressured, only one out of every, say, 3 times would he stay in the pocket, deliver a good pass. And for more context, he went on to say he's never had a guy under 40% in that metric before, let alone a projected round 1 guy. And as we know, Daniels, not just projected to go round 1, guy's projected to go top 3, if not top 2 right now. So that was kind of eye-opening to read. What else kind of caught my eye specifically, too, was just how far behind J.J. McCarthy and Michael Penix were in a majority of the kind of pinpoint percentage numbers on this heat map he's got laid out, specifically when compared to the big 3, right? Caleb, May, Jaden Daniels. So did either of you have a chance to dive into this at all? And if so, what kind of surprised you or stuck out to you the most that maybe you didn't realize heading in before you read it? Arif, start.
I think before Arif goes, I think we gotta play the nerdy stat graphic. I mean, come on now.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. What are we doing?
Analytics fans rejoice. It's time to get educated.
Whoa, you're blowing my mind right now.
With the nerdy stat of the day.
So I am
this
actually
is peak nerdy stat stuff.
Yeah,
You're
that,
right.
that,
Yeah,
that
this
was
is
the most
incredible
salient
stuff.
opinion about this.
Yeah. So I am very curious about Luke Braun's reaction to the pinpoint accuracy thing in general, right? Because it's a subjective charting where you apply some numbers on
Yeah,
top
it's like
of it.
super different from everybody else's charting.
Right. And the thing that stands out to me is the JJ McCarthy one, right? Because I think Luke and I have disagreed about McCarthy's accuracy, right? I think that generally speaking, he gets the ball to the receiver, but I've had issues with his ball placement, right? And this is meant to be quote unquote pinpoint accuracy. So this is the highest level of accuracy that Solak was willing to create a threshold for and then chart, right? And McCarthy does fairly poorly compared to the other first-round quarterbacks, projected first-round quarterbacks in this charting. A lot of freezing face emojis, which is a statistical term. Some emojis, and a couple of thumbs ups, but no fire or lightning emojis, which or a championship trophy emoji, which obviously you want that.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know. I'm kind of curious about that because it accords with my cognitive biases here. It aligns with my take. So in the war between hating Benjamin Solak and hating Luke Braun, right now I am on Solak's side.
It's a day-to-day thing. We get it.
Right, yeah,
very
no,
fluid situation.
You
Very
have to
fluid.
balance. You have to prioritize and balance your lifestyle. I get that.
You're right. Yeah. It's a complicated web. Obviously take priority, but everything is like a give here, so it's tough. But yeah, what's your take?
Yeah, it's just like super different numbers than everybody else had, and isn't that interesting? Yeah, I guess you would have to compare it to like the accurate plus bucket of PFFs versus just accurate. And if I recall, the just like regular accurate is the one that like they'll get more use out of versus the accurate plus. So I guess
in terms of like what they've tested for predictiveness,
I think so, but I'm fuzzy on it, and I'm not gonna look it up.
They've lost all their data guys, so I'm gonna try and ask one of their data guys.
right.
Yeah. And for me with McCarthy's accuracy, the like deep sideline throws are dreadfully bad. Like I agree with you. Like that's awful.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
And that's like the whole article I wrote at Wide Left was like trying to suss out why that is.
But he did have the best pro day that Jim Harbaugh has ever seen.
Ever. And that guy's seen a lot of pro days. He's seen a lot of pro days, dude. He's seen a lot of pro days.
You've seen a lot of pro days.
So when
by the
you
way,
guys
at
see,
his pro day,
go ahead.
still hasn't fixed the issue that I pointed out. So
yeah, but the ball didn't hit the ground. So I mean,
yeah, man, there it is. QBs are jugs machines.
When you guys see some of these numbers and then think about and try to equate, I guess, them back to Kevin O'Connell's system in an ideal world, what he likes to do in the passing game, I guess, winning over the middle of the field, set up some deep shots, etc., whatever it may be. Is there any new information in here that you think can tell us this guy makes more sense for this system, or this guy fits better and could have maybe a smoother transition into the KOC playbook and philosophy, I guess?
The interesting one, if you're talking about like standing in the pocket, delivering shots over the middle and stuff, the other one that Ben pointed out was Drake May being more accurate out of the pocket than in it. And one of the things that I've had about Drake May is like he seems to gravitate toward throwing on the run like he wants to, like in situations where he does not need to actually throw on the run. He'll take a couple steps so that his throwing mechanic can be a throw on the run. Like he's just that much more comfortable doing it, which that sort of tracks with that. And with the accuracy stuff, Drake May performing really well in this is, I think, maybe the biggest surprise on there because everybody else's accuracy charting hates Drake May's accuracy.
Yeah. The thing that I find almost comical, I guess, is Michael Penix's stand and deliver rate, which is like 71%. wait, it's like when we discuss like quarterbacks who don't engage like their receivers enough to put the ball out in front of them and generate. Yeah, like at some point, like when we talk about yak percentage for quarterbacks, we're like, whoa, that's too high or that's too low, right? Like we want to be in this like at some.
But he
point,
had a great 40. I don't get it.
But yeah, it's like, oh, now the stat is too far in the other direction. I am not comfortable with it. But he did have a very good 40. He did not quite have the agility scores that JJ McCarthy had, but he had a great 40.
Bottom line, if you haven't checked it out, we could sit here and talk about these numbers literally all show. But big props to Solak. Phenomenal work per usual. Got to go check out this just deep dive breakdown on this entire quarterback class. Again, up over on the Ringers draft guide. This is way topic. I'm kind of jumping around, so I apologize. I just want to make sure I fit this in before we get to Ron Johnson, who's coming on in a couple minutes, because Brian Flores spoke yesterday at the press conferences, talked about improving the defense from year 1 to year 2 now, I guess. How much more difficult is that now in year 2? Like after we watched opposing offenses start to kind of adapt to his tendencies, remember, and kind of play calling that last month of the season last year, like at the end of the day, does this guy just need more talent than he did last year? Or what's the biggest challenge, I guess, now for him getting better production and raising the bar in year 2 defensively?
Not having a superstar edge rusher.
Yeah.
You now have to make this with like a bunch of dudes and not the dudes.
Yeah, but if the talent distribution is a little bit more even, maybe that's better. Who's to say? But
I would say not in pass rush. That's an O-line thing.
No, you're right. It's
like,
creator versus
weakling
protector.
systems.
I agree.
And such,
I agree.
Versus strong systems.
Yeah, but it's something to consider. I would say that generally speaking, I trust Brian Flores until he gives us a reason not to. I think that his ability to produce a good defense last year was miraculous. And so given that the defense should have been the entire year playing like it did in the last 4 weeks of the season, as opposed to just in the last 4 weeks of the season and kind of in the first 2 weeks, tells me that he's very talented, and it's very difficult to coordinate a new defense out of nowhere in the final couple of weeks of the season. So it's not like a pass, but it's also like, I don't think this tells us the full picture about what he can do. It was an entirely different defense than the one he had constructed in Miami, very different from the one that he had built in New England. I'm confident that he'll figure out a way to construct a defense that'll work with the personnel going forward. I just think that until that doesn't happen, and there's no talent, and there's talent on the team, that it's difficult for us to say that, this isn't going to work out or something like that.
And maybe even a different way to put it is like, if the defense is bad, I'm like pretty sure that's not going to be Flores' fault.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Like, I don't know. Getting that sort of like more distributed talent thing. If we do say, yeah, that definitely is better, which is, I think, difficult to like, that feels like hope a little bit. Like we talked about it. It felt like, spinning your wheels, and you could definitely argue that it's worse too. So he's going to have to, it feels like he's going to have to scheme it out harder. Like he schemed it up really hard, and it feels like he's going to have to scheme it up harder. And now people have seen what he was doing for a year. So good luck.
Right. Yeah. As we wait for Ron Johnson to pop in here, I got a random draft trivia question for you. And again, you guys said my questions were too hard, I think, last time. Is that right? Or just too off the wall?
Do we give an opinion on whether or not they were? I struggled, but I don't know if I
just like one handily.
Okay, fair enough. I was going to say, I think this one in general is kind of a softball. It's a little easy, but we'll see. Okay. We'll see how it goes. Here you go. Which player did the New York Giants select in the 3rd round in 1999 that later went on to become a head coach in the NFL? 1999 New York Giants 3rd round. I can give you the position, and that I feel like is going to give it away. But
with Anthony Pierce?
No, good guess. Good guess. I didn't even have that on my radar. No, that's a really good guess. The position they drafted in the 3rd round in 1999 by the New York Giants was a tight end.
Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
AP was such a good guess.
Dang. That was great. I didn't even have that on my radar, man. That was a phenomenal guess. Yeah, I'll have to make some of these more draft trivia next Monday. I believe I'm filling in for Sam as well. We may have to go through the gauntlet, have you two go toe-to-toe again, and get some more draft trivia, because that'll be 3 days before the draft at that point. All right. So we got Ron Johnson. He's coming, waiting in the wings. Don't go anywhere, because that's all coming up right after this. Quick reminder, today's episode is brought to us by FanDuel. There we go. It's brought to us by FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook and official sportsbook partner of the MLB. Right now, it's playoff time in the NBA and NHL, not to mention baseball's in full swing, and that means FanDuel's your #1 place to be to bet on all the action. Check this out right now. New customers, you're getting $150 in bonus bets guaranteed. That's $150, win or lose. Bet on everything from slap shots to home runs to slam dunks, all on the app that's safe, secure, and easy to use. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon today and make your first bet an automatic win. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook and official sportsbook partner of the MLB. Okay. Still waiting for Ron Johnson to pop in here. Let me get this FanDuel slide off here. Still waiting for Ron Johnson to pop in. Don't worry, he'll be here. I'm not worried. Are you guys worried? I'm not worried. Ron Johnson.
You want to talk about the Elliott Wolf quote?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you got it locked and loaded?
He said they're open for business.
Okay. How do we feel about that?
It's as direct as he's ever been about like we are willing to trade.
That's true. He's never really been what he keeps things close to the vest in general, like a lot of these guys do.
It runs so counter to what we've been hearing, which is like, well, I guess they'll maybe be willing to move, but it'll take, it'll be this monumental task and like probably not. Like it always seems so rigid. And even going back to like the way I think it was Albert Breer reported on the Falcons at the Combine when they had when they were trying to explore the idea of trading up, and he said, oh yeah, they talked to the Commanders and Patriots and hit a brick wall. And that's why they decided that they were going to pursue Cousins instead. And the fact that the Vikings seem to be like making more progress here, despite being at 11 instead of 8, it goes to show exactly how aggressive Kwesi's willing to be and the price that he's willing to go up to. Whether or not they get the deal done right, that's a separate question. But it feels like he's been just like chiseling away, and it's gone from a brick wall to, maybe I guess for the right offer to just full on, hey, we're open for business. We haven't gotten the deal that we want yet, but come a call-in. Like, whoa, that's different.
Right. That's way different than what we normally get. Let's bring in Ron Johnson here. Ron Johnson. There he is. Ron, I believe your mic may be muted. But anyways, Gophers Hall of Famer, the legend. You can check him out every Tuesday on the Ron Johnson Show right here on the Locked On Sports Minnesota channel. Ron, we were just talking about the Elliott Wolf quote. The Pats apparently open for business at number 3. Maybe just your knee-jerk reaction when you hear something like that.
Have you seen the movie Game Day? Draft day or game day. I don't know. Draft day. Doesn't matter. GM say whatever they need to say to make everybody think whatever they want them to think. They're full of it. They're full of themselves. And it's all about them. So, yeah, I don't trust anything. And the guy's name is Elliott Wolf, right?
You can't even hide. He's not a wolf in sheep's clothing.
It writes itself.
He's a wolf.
Like when you said that, I just imagine like Matthew McConaughey sitting there at lunch with what's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah. And yeah, it's just, come on now. It's this, but that's their job. Their job is to create a narrative, maybe think about this. Mel Kiper went up on stage and said the Saints were going to take, I think he said a quarterback or something. And they ended up taking Marcus Davenport. Like, people say whatever they want to get you to jump and do what you want. The Bears jumped in when they got Mitchell Trubisky because everybody scared them thinking that somebody else was going to take them. It is what it is. So at the end of the day, I don't trust anybody named Wolf, but I also don't trust the Patriots anyway. Like, we know they deflated the balls. So
yeah, just in general, you're totally right. And you're totally right, Ron. You nailed it. There's so much smoke going on right now. It's tough to kind of sift through what's actual real, has some substance, has some legs to it, and what's just being thrown out there just to gain a little bit more leverage, so to speak.
Right. But here's the thing too, I'll say, Luke.
Yeah.
The one thing I will give them credit for, it's like going to a bar. If Arif Hassan goes to a bar and he's wearing his stretchy pants and he's wearing his nice shirt, like what's the guy? Jack Black.
a nice dressy button down, and
one of my favorite actors in history, Jack Black, kills
Nacho Libre.
Yep.
And he's like leaning up against a wall. He's open for business.
Often been compared to.
He's open for business. He's looking for whatever is the best offer at that. So if one girl comes up to him, he's like, eh. But if two girls come up to him, he's like, whoa, okay. But if a GM of a team comes up to him and they're like, hey man, I'll give you all the secrets of our team on draft day, he's like, all right, let's go. Like, where are we going? Like, we're going to the facility. Like, it's the best offer that's coming through. So even though the Patriots might be full of it, they are still willing for somebody to, like, I mean, there's some things you just can't deny. If they're like, look, we're open, and somebody says, look, we'll give you our 2025, 2026, and 2027 first round pick for number 3. Okay, sure, done. Like, so that's where, you know, it's some truth to it, but at the same time, they're not doing it unless somebody gives them a great offer.
Yeah, and to your point, I'm thinking about the ripple effect, right? The snowball effect, because, you know, 24 hours before this quote came out, it feels like Monty Ossenfort, the GM for the Cardinals, feels like he has all the leverage. He wants to wheel and deal. He knows the Vikings have to move up here. The Patriots aren't going to trade their, opportunity to take potentially a guy like Drake May or Jane Daniels, whoever it may be. Now, all of a sudden, think about if you're Monty Ossenfort. Now, all of a sudden, man, I thought I had the Vikings for sure. They were going to have to trade up to 4. That was their only option if they wanted these quarterbacks. Now, all of a sudden, do I have to lower my asking price and maybe kind of talk them into, you can still get the 4th best quarterback, and I'll give it to you at a little bit more of a discount than maybe we originally talked about when we opened discussion. So, yeah, a lot of ripple effects. But again, who knows what's smoke, what's real? Tough to say. We'll find out a week from today. Ron, I'm curious, which quarterback in this class have you changed your mind on the most as far as how you kind of project them into the NFL? So like from the beginning of the process to now, and this could be for good or bad, I guess, which guy has kind of moved up or down the Ron Johnson big board the most from January, February-ish to right now as we stand here today?
I'd say Jaden Daniels. Like after watching a little bit more film on him, the one thing I've noticed is he is mobile. He's not as patient, but again, he's in college. So he doesn't have like some of the and we have to remember though, Peyton Manning went like 3-14 or something his first year. So, or whatever that is, 3 and I forgot what it was, but I remember Brandon Stokely used to always make fun of him about that. Cause Peyton Manning, asked Tom Moore, can we run a play? And he's like, hey man, we ran this play, against Jacksonville, blah, blah. And I remember I put the play on the thing and he threw a pick. Tom Moore was like, what was your record that year when you ran that play? And Peyton just looked at him and like walked away like, you asshole. Oh, excuse my language. Sorry. You butthole.
Live show, everybody. Live show.
Sorry. You booty hole. But that's where you think about like stuff like that. Like, so the Jaden Daniels has changed my mind a little bit about him. I think he can be taught patience. I think Kevin O'Connell can get a ton out of him. I don't know if he'll be there though. I saw his agent today tweeting a bunch of like emojis. I don't know if he's trying to channel his inner Stephon Diggs, but every time somebody says,
that was weird.
Daniels, every time somebody says something about Jaden Daniels, his agent now is all of a sudden tweeting emojis like, oh, really? Like, oh, let me see what this is about, or eyes emoji or, like, so I don't know what he's trying to pull. I don't know if he's trying to like create more buzz or more like, he's going to go where we think he's going to go, or like, the Washington Commanders, it was all a smoke screen. They want my guy. Who knows? But I will say Jaden Daniels has changed my mind after watching some of his tape and what he could be. Because if you think about what Josh Dobbs could have been under maybe the tutelage long-term of somebody like Kevin O'Connell, I think Jaden Daniels could be ridiculous under Kevin O'Connell. And so he's changed my mind. Drake May's changed my mind as well. Like he's a little bit more mobile than I thought he was. Not to say you have to be mobile in this offense because of look at Kirk Cousins. He's not at all. And so Drake May is a little bit more athletic than Kirk Cousins. And so I'm like, oh, okay, he could fit too. So those two have changed my mind.
So what do you think about that? Like the thing that he was eye emoji quote tweeting was that all of the quarterbacks came in to meet on like the same time visit.
Yeah.
What do you take from that? That felt weird, right? Like what was?
Have you ever? I don't know if you watch Netflix shows, but I got suckered into this with my wife on vacation. We ended up watching. What's that?
Love
where
is
they have
Blind?
to get married. Love is Blind. Oh my gosh! Like
nailed it.
Chelsea, like stage 4 clinger right away. Like dude went out for one drink and she's like, you don't love me. I can't be with somebody that goes out every night. He's like, I went out once in like 60 days. What is going on?
Funny, my wife tried to suck me in as well. I didn't do it, but she did show me that exact viral clip you're talking about. And
Yeah, we watched the whole thing from episode 1. Well, I fell asleep on a lot of them, but
Nice.
bringing in 4 quarterbacks
Yep.
made me feel like Love is Blind. Like that's literally, you are literally not getting a chance to like really talk to them, really get to know them, really get their true personalities, because now they know they're all there. So they're all putting on like this show, like Jess. You know, she has the 12-year-old daughter, and she's like, you're going to need your inhaler once you realize you let me go. No, he's going to be happy that he doesn't have a headache. But if you think about that, that's like, you don't know what you're really getting in these quarterbacks because they're not relaxed. You sent them all into the wolves, to the lion's den, like, all right, let's all come meet. But again, that also speaks to like, it felt like that was the ghost of Daniel Snyder. Like it felt like that was him reaching from the grave, like do something stupid like I would do. Like that. I mean, that literally felt like that. Like that. That's what that felt. I had to literally remember they're not under his tutelage anymore. I was like, oh wait, he's not even the owner. What are they doing? So clearly it wasn't all Daniel Snyder, because we know all the front office people weren't fired. So that's a front office decision that person needs to go to, because I am not a fan. You have enough money and enough jets and enough plane rides that in 4 days you could have saw all 4 guys. But no, you want to do it all at once. That's lazy.
So you don't think that there's like a value to that group dynamic? Try to see who the alpha is or whatever it is that
I see where you're going with it, and I do understand that. Like, who's gonna walk in the room and shake my hand the hardest? Who's gonna be the one talking to all the guys and being friendly with all the other quarterbacks? You know, who has the person? So I do get that too, because I know there's some psychologists that probably advise them, like, hey man, like this is the perfect time to put them in a hot room and see how they act. And let's put a hidden camera in here and see, because you know there were some hidden cameras following them too that they didn't know about. So
you gotta see who's walking into the room groin first, of course.
Exactly. Who's talking crap about who when somebody goes to the bathroom, like all kinds of, you know, like they want to see who could possibly be the leader of their organization for maybe 5 years at least. So yeah, no, I see the benefit, but I still just think it's lazy. Like do both at least. Like maybe fly one guy in. Like treat it like some of these NBA players treat side chicks. Like have 4 different hotel rooms and none of them know they're there until the last minute. Like you're just dating all of them secretly and they don't know. And then all of a sudden the last day you're like, okay, you're all here. Like let's see what happens now. Like there's a lot of ways to think about it. Remember that player that did that? Remember he had 2 girls in like a hotel in Houston or something, and they ended up running into each other.
There's a rumor that Stephon Diggs did that.
Oh. Yeah, I do remember that too.
Yeah. I just remember CD Lamb's girlfriend trying to check his phone on draft day, and he just wasn't
having it. Did go on Family Feud and say leave it in. So I mean,
that's true. That's true. One of the all-time classic moments.
One of the greatest moments on that show.
Yeah, Luke Brown, what do you got for Ron?
I'll steal a question from the chat. It comes from Chris Olson, who asked if we draft a wide receiver in the 4th, who would you rather draft as a wide receiver 3? Malik Washington, Luke McCarthy, or Brandon Rice?
McCaffrey?
Oh, in the 4th, Brandon Rice. McCaffrey, if he's there. I would take Brandon Rice just because of the lineage and the fact that we'd get Jerry in the building. Come on. You have Jerry Rice and Randy Moss in the same building at times, and Justin Jefferson. Like that just seems like
Chris Carter can pop back
and Chris Carter. Like that's a receiver soup right there. A jambalaya. But yeah, no. I would go Brandon Rice. I get the other guys. The other guy that I like, though, other than if like looking for another receiver, I don't know if he'll be there in the later rounds, is Keon Coleman out of Florida State. Like at 6'4", super athletic. I know he won't be there, but like he was terrible at Michigan State. I remember him at Michigan State because he was in the Big Ten, and he was terrible. And not terrible like in like you suck, just like didn't fit their system, made a lot of dumb mistakes, like lackadaisical play, like didn't block guys. So I don't know if Florida State just knew how to like motivate him, or I don't know. But change of scenery for some guys like him, it worked because he went to Florida State and started making one-handed catches, started being on Sports Center, and now look at him. He goes to the combine, has a pro day that looks great, and now this kid is potentially a 2nd round pick. So, but yeah, if something happens where they could drop a story saying him and Mel Tucker were on the phone with that lady, like I'll take them late rounds.
All right, last one before we get you out of here, Ron. One bold prediction. What's one thing or maybe one idea when it comes to the Vikings draft plans you think isn't being discussed enough as an option that could unfold on draft night? What would that be?
One that's not being that they trade back both picks.
Ooh, okay.
Because they're like all their potential quarterbacks go early in the first 3 picks, and they just don't want a guy at 4 that they think they need to get him. And then at 11, they don't think the guy they want should be there. And so they go backwards twice to get more, like a second round, a couple second round picks, maybe third round.
Funny.
And then
if they traded from the second round up to 23 and then back into the second round.
That would be hilarious, man. That would be
and
great.
then, but yeah, that's the only thing I can think of is like the elephant in the room is what if it doesn't work out? Like what if nobody, because the Cardinals could be one because they could trade 4 and 27, I think, is what they are.
Yeah.
And the Vikings could give them 11 and 23. So that's one option. We know the Patriots could be an option. Cardinals seem like the most likely trade partner, but also the Patriots might say like, because the Patriots, you could force them to draft JJ McCarthy as much as they've been talking about him, and you didn't want JJ McCarthy, you could force them. And then maybe the other guy you wanted is still there, kind of like the Jalen Reagor, Justin Jefferson situation with the Eagles. Like you could force their hand and then make them show their cards. Because if they don't draft JJ McCarthy at 3, and you wanted JJ McCarthy, now they're stuck and they have to take whoever else wants to offer them, or they're stuck at that pick. And now they have to, they're rushing on the clock to find a dance partner to get out of 3. And then it's in your favor to maybe say, look, I'm just giving you 11, you take 3, and then I'll give you like a 2025 third rounder or something.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Kwesi and KOC have been doing, been going through the media outlet, so to speak. I heard them on PA and then the press conference, everything else. They talk about, hey, we go through every scenario. We go through the worst case scenarios and what that looks like. We got to have plan A, B, C, D, and E ready to roll. Certainly think one of their worst case scenarios, I would imagine, would be quarterbacks going 1, 2, 3, and then a team like Denver or something, somehow, some way leapfrogging them at 4. And all of a sudden, like you said, all of a sudden the top 4 quarterbacks are gone. We don't think Penix or Bo Nix is maybe worth pick number 11. So we end up trading back. So yeah, I could see that happening, I guess, if that scenario played out at the top with those first 4 picks, the way you said it. You're totally
I just hope that they don't have to wear these shirts that they tried. It's got to work out.
Yep. Please don't.
That would be the worst.
The
next day, that would be the worst headline of like Kwesi saying something like, "Look, I tried. Nobody wanted to trade with me." Like, oh boy, that would be the worst.
That would be depressing. We'll get you out of here, man. Love it. Ron Johnson on Twitter at 3Ron Johnson. Check him out every Tuesday on the Ron Johnson Show, part of the Locked On Sports Minnesota Network. And if you haven't already, I think the latest interview with Gabe Henderson from Vikings Entertainment Network just dropped. I haven't checked that out. Is that correct, Ron? Can we go check that out?
Yeah, we got Gabe Henderson on there. We played a little, what would you do if your wife was pregnant and you were in the Masters? So Gabe and I had some fun with that one. His daughter turned 1 on Tuesday.
Okay.
But then we also had Jordan Reed from ESPN. The ESPN draft analyst Jordan Reed joined us as well. So his interview drops on the 23rd draft week. So looking forward to that one. He has some names that weren't even on some of my boards that he thinks could fall to the Vikings in some of the later rounds. So he's giving me some names to look up as well. So make sure you guys check that one out because we know he knows that. And he also dropped a rumor that he's heard around the building in ESPN. So, looking forward to that one coming out.
Spicy. Yeah, can't wait to check that out. Love it. That's all up on Locked On Sports Minnesota YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button too so you never miss a beat. Ron, pleasure as always. We'll talk to you soon, all right?
Appreciate you.
Ron Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's get back to this 3-box here. Don't go anywhere. We're going to dive back into another PFF Live mock draft. That's all coming up right after this. Quick reminder, today's episode, guys, is brought to us by Prize Picks. Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app with more than 3 million members to date. And for me and my money, it's by far the easiest and most exciting way to get in on all the action while you watch your favorite sports and players. All you got to do, you pick more or less on 2 or more players' stats and watch the winnings roll in. Spring training is officially over. Baseball season officially underway. So whether it's strikeouts, RBIs, first inning runs, home runs, take your pick on more or less and add them to your Prize Picks entry today. Or get in on all the NBA playoff action and win up to 100 times your money on the Prize Picks app. Plus, Prize Picks now offers Apple Pay for quick and easy deposits into your account all season long. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. Okay, we got to make sure we do this live mock draft. I have so much other good stuff I wanted to get into though. So I'll strip it all down. Let's just do. I teed Ron up. We got his bold prediction. Let's just fire through one bold prediction from each of us. I'll start. My bold prediction is that the New York Giants and Las Vegas Raiders are not interested and will not select a quarterback in round 1 of the draft. And we talked about with Ron, there's always a lot of smoke this time of year. When I look at both those teams and the situations they're in, just me, I'd be shocked, though, if the Giants took a quarterback when they still owe Daniel Jones $80 million in change. I just don't see an owner, for that matter, signing off on them taking another quarterback with a top 10 pick. I just don't. When they still have to pay DJ all that money, especially when the guys had really no weapons to really play with or throw to since he's been there either. So I think the Giants go wide receiver and roll with DJ at least one more year, and that quarterback talk is pretty much all smoke. Who wants the next crack at it? Luke Braun, you got a bold prediction for us for next Thursday night on draft night?
Yeah, I'll try one. I've seen people kind of talking about it. Let's say one of the top 3 receivers goes to a playoff team, whether that's via trade up or a precipitous fall. One of the top 3 receivers goes.
And by top 3, of course, we're talking about Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors, and Roman.
And Troy Franklin, yeah.
Troy Franklin. Malik.
But I assume the metric to judge this would be the 3rd receiver drafted, not like the 3rd receiver by whatever ranking.
Right.
One of the top 3. Someone's either coming up or then one of those 3 specific guys. Harrison, Dunze, or Neighbors.
Okay.
Like it.
I think my take, it feels like this shouldn't be a hot take, but it feels like everyone is doing this. So I'm going to go the other direction and say only 4 quarterbacks will be drafted in the first round. It shouldn't.
Yeah, somehow that did turn into a hot take, huh?
Yeah, but most of the mocks that you see now have a 5th or even 6th quarterback go.
Yeah.
Because you see, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, which I'm already skeptical of, right? And then you see Bo Nix goes to Denver, right? Mm-hmm. Which everyone loves the Sean Payton Bo Nix fit. I do too. Makes sense. They can wait until the second.
You can wait. You can move back. Get your second back.
And then Michael Penix goes to some team picking around the 20s, possibly the Vikings. So that's what I've seen is that 5 or 6 quarterbacks go in the first round, happening a lot more often in these mocks than I think is a reasonable range of outcomes. I think it's just going to be 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm curious to see what the actual Vegas over-under is. Of course, by next week, there's going to be a million draft props you can bet on, whether it's FanDuel or whatever your sportsbook outlet is. But I'm curious to see, is that going to be at 4.5 or is it going to be at 5.5? Because I'm with you. I think if it was at 5.5, I think I'd have to smash the under on that, right? I mean, there's depending on what the odds would be if it's minus.
What was the last time before 2018? That 5 quarterbacks went in the first round, because that's the last time, right? It's 2018, and then before that, I don't know.
I don't even know if you'd have one. It would have to be
boy, I should actually. know
QBs went 1, 2, 3, and 99, and then you had Culpepper. Was there another one?
Oh, that was 5. Cade McNown. went.
We're going back
before or after.
First round pick, Cade McNown.
Donovan McNabb, Achilles Smith, Culpepper, Cade McNown.
Achilles Smith. Oh my gosh.
Achilles Smith. Yeah. Bengals. Yeah.
System quarterback.
Okay. All right. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to shelf some of this other fun stuff. I had QB superlatives. We'll do that on Monday. Still plenty of time to dive into all this fun stuff. So let's jump into this PFF mock draft 2.0. Let me pull this screen up here. Share screen. Okay. Now, you guys... You got to help me out here, okay? Because last time, wasted a little bit of time.
Vikings, let's really tank out. Let's spend 5 of the 10 minutes we have on the 6th round pick.
Okay, and we're not going to rule this stuff, right? Any of this, okay.
Trying to find somebody we're remotely familiar with that deep.
Right. Last time we missed out on receiver. I was a little bummed about that. I just want to cash in on this loaded receiver class at some point, and it got thin really quick. So, all right, maybe we should do something different. Sam's recommendation was that we do something different that we didn't do last week. So maybe and I'm just throwing this out there, maybe we don't trade up. Maybe we just try to see how the board falls, and we pick at 11.
Yeah, why not?
Whatever.
That's it. Yeah, sure.
That way I can't screw this. Yeah, it'll be fine. And
It'll
super
be
accurate.
fun.
And super accurate, too. So what could go wrong?
Yeah.
Plus, I can't screw this button up, too. I just hit this big, shiny blue button, start draft.
Just
There
let it
we
come, huh?
go. Oh, man, we
Oh
gotta
boy.
throw
Oh
this.
boy.
There you go,
Oh no.
Murphy to the
Oh,
Giants.
oh,
All right.
Oh, boy. So quick
Oh,
recap if
no.
you're
Doing
not
10X
watching
at
at
11?
home. Wow.
The Matt
1,
Collar
2,
special?
3.
No, okay. What we need to do is we need to trade down from 23 and see if we can realize that.
Wait, let's double trade down it.
Oh
let's do
yeah.
that.
Let's get
what are our
weird.
trade offers? What are our
Let's
trade
do
offers?
that. So
Yeah.
17 is about the furthest I'd want to trade this back. So 11 to 17. Can I get that second?
Oh, you could push a little harder there.
Second and
Yeah,
some
yeah, push.
change.
Yeah,
Yeah, try that.
Now, the
Let's-
bar is still green, so try it.
Try it,
So
try
we
it,
got-
try it. That's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Oh, now it's too far. Oh, okay.
This is great. So we got 1748, and we're trying to get like a fourth or a fifth.
Yeah,
That's
just trying to
for the
get some
audio
change on
listeners.
top. Trading back with
Yeah.
Jacksonville from 11.
Jacksonville. Got it.
Hey, it
we
worked.
dropped back.
So 11
Got-
for 17, 48, and 153.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
So unfortunately, though, and this is the downside, we missed out on guys like Quinyon Mitchell, Jared Verse, Terrion Arnold. So some people's number one.
I'm
at
not
some
upset.
of those
These
defensive
guys rule.
positions. And
Let's
I'm
go
not
take
would
a
either.
corn-fed Iowan.
I'm not either.
I would take Latu here, but
I would go with
Or,
Latu.
or either of those defensive tackles are looking juicy. But yeah, Latu's
both of them
pretty
look
well.
great as well. I agree.
I think
I
with,
like
with
now that we have a second again. I like the I kind of like D tackle there.
yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah, because that's a pretty thin class.
I'm honestly
Personally,
happy-
I would take Newton over Murphy.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends on how you feel about that foot, but
Yeah.
Latu or Newton here. I think I would go Latu over Newton, but yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's take
Would-
Latu. I don't know. I like him. He's fun.
It's so funny. I could just sit here and not say anything. You guys keep changing your mind.
Just pick
back and
Latu.
forth.
Hurry up.
Oh, the next Unique Ngakwe. This will be great.
Latu it is, and look at this.
Okay. Let's see
Now
if we can... Oh, we could grab Cooper.
Yeah, now
Or-
we grab Cooper DeJean.
Wait.
Wait.
What is our second round pick? Where do
so
we
our
pick
second
in the
round pick is
round?
48. So that's kind of late-ish. It's 17th
trade
pick.
back.
It's
Yeah,
Jack
in the middle.
picks. So
Let's see if we can trade back to like 30.
you know Monty Ossenfort wants to trade back. Can we get this third? No. Can we get this third? No. Can we get a fourth and a
Wait.
They're only
why
moving
do
up
you keep
4
saying?
spots.
Why do you keep saying no? I'm looking at the bar and it goes so fast on the stream that it just looks super.
Oh,
green
sorry.
here.
Yeah, sure.
A third
Okay.
and
So
a
right now
fourth?
I'm looking at trading back again, right?
Okay.
With Houston
something
or with
different here.
Arizona at 27.
At 27.
Okay.
We're getting a late third and a looks like late fourth or early fifth. Pick
All right, let's do
138.
this.
So let's see if we get that. That works.
Accepted. All right.
So in this scenario, we've traded back
Someone in the
both our
chat
first
said,
round picks.
"Take Murphy." What the hell are you doing?
We could take Murphy right now.
Oh my god, we could take either Newton or Murphy.
I feel
I
like this
wouldn't
is.
hate it. I
but-
wouldn't
but
hate
guys,
it.
What-
we want our 5th-year option with this quarterback, right? I'm assuming we have to go. Penix
Maybe
here, right?
I don't care.
Do we?
Yeah.
We take Bo Nix. Is he a Viking in 4
I mean, don't get me
years?
wrong, dude. I've done 1,000 of these PFF mock draft simulators, and it's so fun when you don't have to take a quarterback and you can just stockpile all these picks and just boost your roster up. It is really fun, but at some point, are we not going to take a quarterback here?
Yeah, no. Let's do Byron Murphy, and then let's
let's do
make him
Newton.
earn that 5th year. Let's take a quarterback in the second.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there is no
Or
fifth.
Newton,
There is no
whatever-
5th
whichever you
year. You
want.
can't earn a
I
fifth.
would
Okay, see what
take
you're
Newton, but you know.
Yeah, I like Newton at like tape wise better than Murphy, but obviously you could be worried about that.
All right,
even
let's
though
go
it
Newton.
Seems
All
like
right,
he's
done
fully
deal.
held.
All
Yeah.
right. So we got Newton and we got Latu.
Do we? Oh my God, Bodix is right there.
Oh,
Let's
boy.
just see.
Penix
What,
is
oh,
gone,
we missed
right?
out on
Yeah.
Penix by
Penix
4
went to the
picks.
Raiders.
And
We got
look who took him,
sniped. Oh,
Vegas.
no.
24. I knew we should have
Vegas.
traded that. All right. doesn't
Vegas.
matter.
All right, so we're taking
Yeah,
Bo
let's just
Nix.
slam it
We're just going to try
Yeah.
it.
next time.
The
Yeah.
Bo Nix experiment begins.
That's okay. In the fourth,
This
we'll take
feels a-
Spencer Rattler.
This feels about where let's double dip, baby.
I like
Uh,
any of these 3 top picks right here. I like Kyrie Jackson, corner from Oregon. I like Renardo Green,
that
corner
Florida
from
State
Florida
corner.
State.
But we don't have a starting guard. We could take Cooper Beebe.
Also, Luke, you were upset about missing out on wide receiver. You could
That's
overreact to this and just take.
That's
Walker.
true. Yeah, I do like Jacob Cowing later, and then it
I just-
gets
I just
kind
feel
of
like-
thin. I
Yeah.
like Marcus Rosemary, Jake Saint a little bit from Georgia, but yeah, we got to wait on receiver. We got to wait on. We got to keep stockpiling this defense.
Right.
Or
Nag-
Cooper
nag the
Beebe
guard.
or
The
Mason
one guard in
McCormick.
every mock.
What do we
We
got
could take
here?
Mason
So,
McCormick. I'd be okay with that.
everybody's cool with Mason McCormick here
Sure.
at pick 90.
Cool.
Yeah, I like him. South Dakota State
Boom.
Go Rabbits.
All right.
Go
All right,
Jack.
now we're in day
So-
3. This is where we really tank it out and discuss. This is what people want to hear.
This is where we all get tempted
Yeah.
to take a running back because they're just sitting there staring you in the face
like 40
every
million of
single
them on the
round, but you
PFF
gotta
board.
wait. You gotta wait. Okay. Did I lose out on Jacob Cowing? Okay, Jacob Cowing right here, Arizona.
Oh,
Talk me out of it if you
I
want, but
actually am fine with that. We do need to grab some defensive players again at some point, but
hey,
Um,
this is just KOC's just banging the table, and then he's looking at Flores going, dude, you got 5 more picks. You got 6 more picks. They're all yours. Okay. I got my guard. I got my receiver. They're all yours. If I can get a running back at the end,
Cowing.
big deal.
Grab Cowing.
There it is.
we got big Bo Nix fans in the chat.
Oh, Audric
All right.
Estime.
Audric Estime's right there.
No, we should go Brownlee Jr., the corner from Louisville. Dwayne Carter, we took him last time. Actually, really like him.
We already
Fits
have
more
a
as a 3-tech and a 4-3.
We're fine at
Yeah.
we're fine at DT.
Yeah, we're fine on
at
D line.
Ooh, Mohamed Kamara from
We're fine at
Colorado
edge
State.
rusher. Luke, pay attention to what we've drafted.
What?
Or-
One
or you should
guy,
just
and
get
then all of
another
a
edge
sudden we're
rusher,
going to win a
actually.
Super Bowl? 1 third-round pick,
We
and we win a
already
Super
have
Bowl?
2 starting edge rushers, and then we drafted another one. We're fine.
More.
God forbid we have depth. Okay, all right. 17 games now on the schedule.
We have kind of
These guys
we have a
playing
lot of
17
depth
games?
already. That's depth
right, what do you
isn't
guys
the
want?
issue. We kind of have only depth.
Only depths. I am tempted by either Brownlee or Estime.
Okay. I'm fine either
Take the
way.
corner.
I like both.
What
do you want, Luke?
Brownlee.
Take the corner.
Okay, the guy I mentioned at first, and then he gave me all that gripe. Okay.
Yeah, we thought that. We
Dwayne
tanked it.
Carter, Kamara. Who's jumping
Sure,
out
sure.
here? We got a receiver. Let's just quick
took,
recap here.
We took McGee last time, so we could take Lufau this time at linebacker.
Oh, Gabe Murphy's there. Man, I really am into this.
So we
fourth
pick
round
again
D
in
line.
15 picks.
Actually, Gabe, if
Who's
if,
not
if
going to be
by
here
our
in
next
15 picks?
if by our next pick Gabe Murphy is there, I will advocate double dipping at edge rusher.
Okay, that's fair.
I feel like there's like a bunch that there's the Colorado State guy. There's Gabe Murphy.
I like the
Hey, Will
Colorado
Shipley.
State guy.
I like Will
Yeah.
Shipley.
Yeah, Will Shipley's fine. Again, though, I feel like we can get some of these running backs. Dylan Lobby. Dylan
Yeah,
Oh,
we could.
Kamani
Shipley.
Vidal. That's the guy
Dude.
you guys told me to stand for at all costs, right? Get him.
Yeah.
Let's get him.
Well,
let's-
probably
Well, not yet.
Right
Not
now.
yet. We
whenever
don't have
we're
to.
supposed to. Yeah.
Yeah, so we can wait. So I say we go back on defense. What do you want? You want this linebacker, defensive tackle? I like Carter. We took him last time, though. Kamara,
We took
another
him last
edge.
time. We took Jordan
take the
McKee
Notre
last time.
Dame
We took
linebacker.
take the Notre Dame linebacker.
Done. Okay, pick 153, 15 picks later.
Hey, Will Shipley's still there.
Hey, Cam Hart or
No, take
Jaheim Bell?
take
Oh, Cam Hart.
No.
I like Cam Hart, man.
double
did
dip on
you want,
Notre
Luke?
Dame. Let's Spielman it.
Let's Spielman it. Cam Hart it is. Okay. Look at all these
Will
picks we
Shipley's
got
still
from
there.
a couple trade a couple trade downs. Jaheim Bell, man. What if Hawkinson starts on the pup? Some of these tight ends are kind of
What if?
Yeah.
Of course he's going to start at the pub. There's no what if. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
then what are we doing? What are we doing?
I don't know if round 5 tight ends are going to solve that problem for us, but
All right, fair enough. All right.
But
what do you
round
think?
5 running backs might solve some problems.
What do you
yeah,
think?
it's a
Will
different
Shipley?
market.
I'd be happy with a guy like
Yeah.
Will Shipley with pick
Let's
one.
get Will Shipley.
Okay, done deal. Look at how many picks I think the point and the moral of the story here is you trade back with both those first round picks. Oh my gosh. Look at
Yeah.
all these picks.
It's
we
like a
got
lot
here.
of things that help you cope with your starting quarterback being Bo Nix.
Absolutely. Yeah. Marcus Rosemary Jack Saint. He's been kind of a sleeper for a lot of people. I like him. Trevin Wallace.
You want to double dip at QB, Jordan Travis?
I'm not opposed. Jaron Hall, bye-bye. Nick Mullins, bye-bye.
Jaron Hall and Nick Mullins both
Who's not
bye-bye,
making the
I think,
team?
if you do
Jordan
that.
Travis, bye-bye. Not making the team.
Yeah.
But
Well,
my
yeah.
cut day.
5th rounder not making the team wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, or Kamal Hayden. Boy, look at how far Kalen King has dropped in these.
Yeah,
Javon
man.
Foster from Missouri at this point in the draft is a
KT
solid
Leviston. We
backup
could
tackle.
double up on K-State linemen. That'd be fun.
K-State lineman, absolutely. What do you think? What do you think here, Luke? I'll give you final vote here. Pick 167. We got a pick in 10 picks. We got another
We
pick
got
in
another
10
pick
picks here. So
in 10 picks.
yeah,
Let's double dip at QB.
let's do it. Jordan Travis, it is. Hope that leg heals up. Next pick. Oh, punter. Boy, he was good at
No.
Iowa.
We're
Don't
like
care.
running out of ideas because we traded back.
How about
and
one
got
of the?
so many picks.
How about the UCLA edge?
This is what got Nate Stanley drafted in 2020.
it really is.
I don't know. Iowa
okay,
QB?
wait. So, well, okay, we are still thin at linebacker, so it would make sense to grab another linebacker here.
Are we?
Yeah, we only drafted one, and have you seen the roster?
Okay.
And then also, I would not be super opposed to an offensive lineman. I wouldn't be opposed to. I guess probably most positions now at this point, but like,
Yeah,
I think
at this point you're just building out depth and stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Have
We
we
got to wrap
taken
this
two
up. I didn't
players yet?
realize. Okay, we're going way over on time. So
yeah,
I'm going to
yes,
give
we
a
are.
Reef. I'm going to give a Reef this pick right here. Call it out. Who do you want?
KT Leviston.
Okay, anybody but him. I'm just kidding. All right, Luke, you're getting the next pick. Pick 230. These are these two late sevenths we got. Joe Milton.
All right.
Joe Milton,
Trifecta.
baby.
Joe Milton,
Still
trifecta.
there. Carter
QB,
Bradley, the
super
coach.
unserious.
The coach is
Show me
good.
the D tackles.
Show you the D tackle. I bet you Gabe Hall is going to be one of them from Baylor. Oh, he's gone even.
Oh my
wow.
goodness gracious. Evan Anderson.
This is a bad group.
Evan Anderson. Well, a little bit of a reach there, bud.
It's
285 on the
future,
big
man.
board. Oh, boy. All right, last pick here. I'm literally just looking for a name that I know. Sam Hartman. Love the hair. Love
Beautiful.
the flow. Can't do it. Let's go another linebacker.
Snag a kicker.
All right, why not?
All right.
All right, so here it
Yeah.
is. And again, we got to get out of here. Thanks, everybody listening that didn't get to watch this, coping with us. But here it is. Bottom line, you trade back twice with those 2 first-round picks, and you can really stockpile and have some fun. Luke, go ahead. Read these picks off for us, top to
All
bottom.
right. We got Laiatu Latu. We got Johnny Newton. We got Bo Nix. We got Mason McCormick. That's our first 2 days.
Jackrabbits. Yep.
Then day 3, we went hard. Jacob Cowing, Jarvis Brownlee, corner out of Louisville. We went double Notre Dame with Liufau, the linebacker, and Cam Hart. Will Shipley, we finally got him after staring at him for like 3 picks. We got Jordan Travis, double dipped at QB, KT Levison, Evan Anderson, and Ula Foshio, another linebacker, Washington, double dipped at that as well.
So it was really the tandem draft. 2 D linemen.
Yeah, 2 linebackers.
Let's see, 2 offensive linemen,
cornerbacks.
2 linebackers, 2 cornerbacks, 2 quarterbacks,
3 linemen, 3 D linemen actually.
3 D linemen with the edge. Absolutely, yeah.
Kind of felt like we didn't need all those day 3 picks.
It really did.
I know what you're
At
talking
the end of
about.
the day,
That's
at the end
just
of
like
the day,
coward stuff.
maybe we didn't need all those. And how do we
Fair,
feel?
I
I guess
apologize.
at the end of the day,
Yeah.
rolling into
There to be
the
great.
rolling into the season with
Trading down.
Bo Nix. Are we all right with that?
No, we're not.
I
Okay with
know,
that.
but
I'd be
that'll
pretty
resolve
apoplectic
itself.
if this was.
But
the
that's
case.
what. But that's
Don't
why
worry
you do
about
it, right? But that's why you do these mock drafts here. All right. All right. We got to get out of here. Same time, same place next Monday. Until then, you can check out Luke Braun every day on Locked On Vikings. Got to check out Arif Hassan over on his Wide Left Substack. You'd find me on the Locked On Wolves postcast this Saturday afternoon. Game 1 of the playoffs. Tip off for that one, 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. For Ron Johnson, the 2 Lukes, Arif Hassan. Until next time. Signing out.
Still alive.
Still live.
This is
We're
fantastic.
going live.